Hi everyone, this is Tammy at Snowstorm Crafts, and today I want to show you guys how to make faux rice paper using some napkins, and then we'll use some fabric. We'll throw some fabric in here and some netting and some other like cotton fabric. I think this is polyester for this one. So chopsticks to stir, some cheesecloth, water, just PVA glue, airtight container, and I got some parchment paper down here. And the fun thing is I got the parchment paper that I did the eco print stuff with you guys on. And if you want to come check out the eco printing that I do, I will put the playlist up in the right hand corner here. But I want to, when we glue it down and stuff, I want to put it on this paper and see if some of it comes off. I mean, it might not, but just for fun. So parchment paper or wax paper, or even a cereal bag. Just open up a cereal bag and do that, or just some plastic bag would work. I saw this on the treasure books with Natasha, and I think it was so much fun, so I wanted to try, and I wanted to incorporate some fabrics in it and some netting to see how that all turns out too. Okay, so well, let's get started here. So let me get this all cleaned up real quick, and we will start with the first one. So I'm going to start with the coffee dyed, this is coffee dyed parchment paper that I just dye all my coffee stuff on. And I'm going to use this tea towel. We'll do this one first, and here I'll show you, it says it. 100% cotton, so it's 100% cotton, just a tea towel here. And I did a little slit, and then we'll just take it and just rip it. I only need a little section of it. And this will be fun to use in projects and stuff. So if you guys would like to see, and I'll probably ask you guys again after we get it all done and see the results. But if you guys would like to see what to make with all this that we're going to do today, let me know, and I will do a separate video for that one. Okay. So this is going to be fun. So just go ahead. And then keep your little strings and stuff. These are nice to have for little clusters and all kinds of stuff. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut this little edge off too, because I think I want the raw edges on it. And I will definitely be keeping this too. So, oh, and I also wanted to say coffee. So we're gonna try and do a couple with just the glue and water solution. And then I want to try with the instant coffee. This is just a cheap, whatever, instant coffee I got. And it's a dark roast. And I just took some warm water from the tap and then just added like 2 tablespoons, just a good amount, into a cup here. And I got a little chopstick to stir it. So I want to try some with coffee, but I want to do the solution first without coffee. And we'll do a couple of those and see how it turns out. So yeah, so let's do that on this one. This is big enough, so let's just cut it in half. Like that. And then we'll go through and I'll do a bunch of different things without the coffee stain in it, and then we'll switch over and do some coffee. So let's just do half of this right now. Okay, make sure you guys can see it. All right, so I'll show you guys how to do the solution. What I'm gonna do is pretty much half and half. So I'm gonna do half glue, PVA glue, and then half water. And you'll just see how runny you wanna do it. You can add a little more water if you want. You don't want it too thick, because then it will just be hard to spread. So let's just do that. So I just did about half here. And then I just add some water. And then you can take you can either put the lid on and shake it, or you could take your little chopsticks or whatever you got, something to stir. And I'm just gonna go ahead and stir the solution up. So as you can see, I got it pretty runny here. So that's definitely, you want it runny. You don't want it super thick, because then it's just hard to spread and then it gets caught. And then you need a paintbrush, just an old whatever paintbrush you got. I wouldn't get nothing too fancy for this. Okay, and I'm going to use half of this parchment. I'm just going to start gluing her down. So just put some glue solution down on the bottom and just get it, you know, roughly the size of your material or whatever you're going to put down. Place down your stuff here. Just make sure you got glue all underneath all the spots. Okay. And then you just start putting it on top, and just make sure you keep your brush wet. You don't want it to be dry when you're running it across. So just get that. And you just get it in all the crevices, all the little spots. Get it all wet. Keep on getting it on there. So I hope you guys are having a crafty day today and getting out all your little pieces that you want to make into faux rice paper and stuff, and just fun things to play with and experiment with me and see how everything turns out. I think that's the fun part. So I'll definitely show you guys the big reveals at the end here. And we have a nice warm day here in Oregon, so I'm going to do these, go hang them outside in the sun on my fence, and see what happens. And we'll go from there. They should dry pretty fast. Okay, and now you can either have the raw edges like this around it, and I saw on Treasure Books, she just went ahead and just pushed the edges in just to make it easier to lift it off the paper, especially with the napkin and stuff. When we do the napkin, she says that it's easier that you have like just a squished up edge, just so it's easier when it's all dry to go ahead and peel it. So I'm just gonna do that all the way around here. Try not to get in the camera. So not too crazy, just kind of pushing the edges down. And I think it's just for looks on this one. I think this would be easy to lift off. So I'm just getting all the loose strings. Just like that. Okay. And a little bit of wrinkles in it. It doesn't hurt anybody. So there we go. So we got that one. And I will be right back. So I'm going to go ahead. I did a different container here. This is going to just be the regular with no coffee in it. And I got a different paintbrush just to go with the coffee dyed one. And then I'm just going to add my solution here, or just the coffee is what it is. So add a little bit of coffee, mix it. So this is going to be fun. We'll see how this turns out. It smells so good. Woo, I did a lot of that one. Okay. Let me try not to make a big mess here. Okay, so I got this pretty full. I probably shouldn't have filled it so full. And then you might need to add a little bit more glue if it makes it too runny. Which I think this will be okay. It might be a little runny, but I guess that'll be part of the, let's see what happens. So it's just experimenting, just seeing what works and You know, if you feel like it's, you know, too runny, just add a little bit more glue or vice versa. So let's see. It looks pretty. All right, so let's put that there. I'm going to add this here. We'll go ahead and put our little mixture here. Try not to get any over that way. Might get some splats on it. So this might be a little on the thin side, but let's see. I'm kind of curious. Okay, so I just put a good amount down, make sure it's the right size. Like that. And just remember, whatever side you put downward is going to be more shiny. And then the side up top will be a little more matte when it's all done. So that's something to keep in mind. So just depending on your material that you're doing, or you know, like say you have a pattern on your material and you want it to be the matte side up. So just make sure to do that up. So that's a little tip there for you. Okay. Yeah, I might have to add a little more glue, but this might work. I mean, you know, that's part of just experimenting and seeing. Because if I can get away with using less glue, that means I have more glue for other projects. All right. Because I go through this stuff pretty fast, the Elmer's. Because I like to do fun little mixed media and different little projects here. Which I hope you guys are enjoying, because I'm having a blast. And with summer coming, I'll probably do some more flower botanical stuff. I got some other ideas up my sleeve. So hopefully you guys are having as much fun as I am doing this. Okay. So there we go. So we did some coffee dyed ones. And then if you want, you could just push the edges around. Let's just keep this one frayed and see what happens. Maybe we'll just keep all the raw edges here. Okay. And we can even take this too and see what happens. Let's just stick this down. Can you guys see that? I'm gonna go ahead and just, why not? We got it here. Let's just see. I have no clue what's gonna happen with this one. This was the end that we ripped off. That, you know, the little edging. So maybe it'll do something. So I'm gonna get this all laid flat and then I'll glue it down. Okay, so I turned it sideways to make it easier for you guys to see. And I'm gonna go hang this outside and we will check this result at the end when it's all dry. And I'll come back and we'll do another thing and get it going. Okay, so this is another piece of parchment that I did a fun eco print on. And this is just with some acrylic paints and stuff. So we'll see what happens on this one. And this is some polyester fabric. It's like I got it at a Goodwill. And it's like it was a blouse. And I cut it up and I had pretty lace on top of it. But I'm pretty sure this is polyester. I think. Don't quote me on that. And then I got a little coffee on it from doing another, when I did the coffee dyeing. So let's just cut I'm going to cut this up real quick and we'll do two different pieces. One with coffee and one without. All right, I wanted to show you guys that I just ripped them in two different pieces here. And I got a lot of threads coming off. Just these little bits. And I've been putting them in the rest of my coffee that I have here. And this is a glass that I keep for my craft room. I don't drink out of it. Yeah, it was actually an accident. And it's a really cool little owl. I don't know if you guys see it. But he's a fun little owl. And I brought it back here one day just to use it and not contaminate it with anything. And I accidentally dipped a paintbrush in it and went, well, it's my craft room now. It's in my forever craft area. So that's what stays in here. But I thought, you know, just throwing in some little threads and stuff and then laying those out to dry and then making clusters with them is fun too. And you could do little bits of fabric. Like you could take some of this fabric and then just pop it in like that. And then just let it sit for a little bit and then just lay it out to dry. So there's a little fun thing to do. All right, so let's go ahead, and it's the same process, so I might do this in a time lapse, but I'm just gonna get the glue solution over here, the clear, just with the glue and water, put it down, pop this down, paint it on top, leave it, and then over here I'll do the coffee solution, where it's just the coffee, water, and glue, and then I'll paint it down, pop that down, and then paint it over the top with the coffee, okay? All right, so I went ahead and just did the little strip here that I ripped off the ends, and it's just the like the hem part of it. And now I will go hang this outside and let this dry. So now I'm going to go ahead and cut up some cheesecloth, 100% cotton, and yeah. So I will get that cut up, and I'll be back. All right, so I went ahead and went with my Eco flower print paper here because these are smaller. So I went smaller with it here. And this is the cheesecloth, and I got some extra little pieces I cut. So I'm going to throw those in the coffee. So if you got extra coffee, just use it, you know. And then I will lay those out later and just let those dry. And those are fun little bits to use in clusters and just fun little things like that. Okay, so now with this, let's go ahead and we'll start with the clear solution here. And it's just the same thing. You just take it, just put it down, just make sure you're putting enough. Okay. It's a little harder to work with, but you just gotta pop it down. I don't mind if it has creases and folds in it. You know, it's kind of folded under itself here. I think that just gives a little character. Okay. And then just take it. Pop it down. This one you just want to make sure it's good and saturated. Because if it's not, then it'll just kind of go along with you and keep pulling. So I just hold down the edges a little here. And that's why it's nice to have a little rag or a cloth that's wet, so you can wipe your hands and stuff off. That's what I try to do. I probably should have said that at the beginning. Okay. So I'm just getting it on there. Okay. And if you're worried about the edges, you can just kind of push them. Just like that. So you just kind of just give it a straight edge. And I think it makes it easier with the peeling off process too, because you have something to grab onto. Okay, so there we go. So that's with the clear one, and I'm going to go ahead and do the other one the same way in a time lapse. All right, so done with this one, and I'm going to go hang this one out on the fence. I'll be right back. All right, so I wanted to try it. I ran out of the parchment dyed paper. I want to use this big one right here with the acrylic paint splats on it because it's bigger for the napkin. So we'll do that last, and that's the last piece I have hanging around. So I wanted to try this. It's just a wax paper. So I'm assuming it's just, you know, you put sandwiches and stuff in it. And I'm assuming it's pretty much like parchment. I mean, this could be kind of fun to play with too. So I'm going to rip some of this off. Okay. I think there's a waxy, I don't think it matters, but this side seems a little waxier. So let's just try that. So let's see how that works. And what I want to use is the netting. It's just that netting. So I want to try some of that. And it's kind of hard to see on here. But maybe with the coffee it'll show up a little better. So I'm just going to do a little bit. Okay, so same idea here. And I'll go ahead and do this one on the time lapse because it's just the same. We'll put it down, slap it down, and then do the different clear and then coffee. Okay, so I think that's going to work out great. So it's got like a different feel and everything to it. So it's kind of fun to just try it out on maybe, you know, on some wax paper. This is more like a cereal bag kind of situation happening. And then the parchment is more papery. So we'll see which one peels off better. So yeah, so I'll go get this drying and I'll be right back. And we could do the napkin, and I think that will be it until we show the reveal. All right, so this is the one I've been waiting for. I want to see how this is going to turn out. So I got my napkin, my pretty napkin. And usually this one's 3-ply. So you just want to grab the top ply here. And just be careful. Go. And then keep this. This is nice to have too. You could do some fun things with that. All right, so what I want to do is I'm going to take just this one napkin here. I'm going to cut it in half. I'm going to do half over here with just the white solution, just the glue and water, and then we'll do the coffee solution over on the other side. And I'm going to do all that in a time lapse, and we'll go from there. It's all the same concept. You just put the, you know, down below and then up on top. All right, I wanted to show you guys this part. After I put the glue down, I'm just going to fold it in half here. And then just try to line it up like this in the middle. And then split it. Just makes it a little bit easier than just slapping it down. And then, because this sticks and then it'll rip. This is more delicate than what we've been doing. So just get that down really good like that. And then we'll put the glue on top. And I want to show you guys this too, like if you're not sure how much glue to put on the bottom, I saw this on Treasure Books. She went ahead and I just have a marker here, but put down your dry napkin like this and get it all situated where you want it. And you could just take and put a dot on each corner to show how big of space you need to put your glue down on the bottom. So that's an idea too. I just kind of eyeball it. Okay, so I'm going to continue this. Now with the napkin, or I mean, the napkin. I was going to say paper towel, but this is a napkin. And what you're going to want to do is definitely, I saw this on Treasure Books with Natasha, and she's right. If you take it and just push these sides in, and just kind of give it a little push in like that. They're not so flat, and then when you try to peel it, it's just harder to grab onto it and get it peeled. Or you'd have to take like a little X-Acto knife and get underneath it and kind of just cut just to make it come apart from here. But if you take it and just push the sides in, just kind of give it a, so it's not so flat and hard to get off of here. So if you just go through and just do a little push down here, just give it a little crinkly edge, it'll just be a lot easier. And then I'll show you guys when I peel it up. It won't be a big headache. We don't want headache projects. Nah. We want all the little bits and tricks and easy stuff to do. So that's all I'm doing is just kind of, I mean, I might be pushing it too far in, but I'd rather have it like that. Okay. And if you guys get a rip, like say I got a, you know, a big rip right here, you could just take, here, I'll make a rip. There we go. You see that? I got like a rip just through there. Just take a little more glue and just kind of push it together like that. And then we can see when it dries. But it should, and then just gently just push it all together. You can gather around the edges like this and just get it all together like that, and then there we go. And the glue will dry, and then you won't even notice a hole there. So that's a little thing to do too. And then you can see the acrylic paint coming through. So I don't know if it's going to stick to it. It might. So it's just some fun paint that I had on the back here. And it should maybe come through, so that'll be fun. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing to the other side with the coffee. All right, so I have them all hanging outside, and I wanted to show you guys, I went ahead and pinned the sides too, because it's pretty windy. So I did just some clothespins on the side here, and then I did them all up top. And I just have them hanging out here, just in the hot sun. So I'm hoping that'll help, so you can see. They're pretty cool. They should turn out. So I'm gonna let them hang out here and dry for an hour or so. And I will be back and we'll see the big reveal. Let these sit just overnight, and I brought them in here, and let's check it out. Okay, so this is the cotton fabric that we did first. So let's go ahead and see here. You just take it and just peel it off here. So you could see that it picked up some of the coffee that was on the parchment paper. Oh, look at that. That is so cool. So that's the back side of it, which is a little smoother back here. And then this is just a little rougher, but it is nice and stiff. So that is really cool. Let me grab the original fabric real quick. All right, so this is the original here. And it's just the tea towel, 100% cotton here. So you could see how flimsy and stuff it is compared to, this is just cool. I like it. And it picked up some of the stuff that was on my parchment paper, where I do some of my, you know, mixed media things or coffee dyeing on this one. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and, in a time lapse, go ahead and rip these off real quick. Okay, so I got them all off of here now. So this is the difference from the coffee dyed and then the one that we didn't add the coffee to, but it did get some coffee on it. So I think that turned out kind of cool and grungy. More of a light grungy. And then we got the grunge. And then it got like darker around the edges. So yeah, and it smells like coffee. Okay, and then we got this little strip, which will be fun to play with. And I'll ask you guys again, please comment below and hit the like button. That helps me out so much to get my video out there more, so everybody can see how to do this. And this is just, I'm calling a faux rice paper, even though we're doing like some fabrics and stuff. I think that'll be a fun little name. And I'd like to hear below in the comments if you guys want to know how I will I'm going to go ahead and I want to decorate them some more and try some cool stuff to decorate it more, and then see what we can make out of these. So if you want to know how to do all that, that might be one more video or two more videos. I'm not sure. But let me know down below if you guys want to like see some more things that can be, you know, decorated more and do some cool things with this stuff. So please comment below. All right, so I got that. So I'm going to put that to the side. I think that turned out really cool. Okay, and then we got this one, which is the, I think it was polyester. Let's say polyester. And it was just the blouse that I found at Goodwill. And so what I'm doing is just lifting the corner here and then taking my finger and kind of just sliding it underneath just to get it off of there. So this is the one without the coffee, but oh my goodness, I think it's going to pick up. That is so cool. Oh, look at how cool that is. Oh my goodness. And this is a smooth side. I thought it'd be more glossy, but it really isn't. So it's like a matte. So I like that. And that's nice and smooth. I mean, look at that, you guys. How cool is that? And then this is the rougher side. So I bet if you, this is a crazy idea. If you took the glue solution, pop this down, glue solution on top, put a piece of parchment paper on top. I just thought of this. Like that, and sandwich it, dry it, peel both sides of it like a banana. And then both sides would be smooth like this. Oh, that's something to try, huh? If somebody tries that, let me know. Because I bet you it would be. Because if you guys could feel this, it is like velvet smooth. But I really like how it picked up the eco prints here. Oh my goodness. And then it is rough on this side, so it's kind of cool. But I wonder if that would work, if you sandwiched it like that. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and peel these on a time lapse. So it picked up, there was gold paint that I had. And you could see where it picked up all the print that I had on here. And all the eco prints. And look at that. I don't know if you guys can see the gold shimmer. Because I had this gold acrylic paint that I used. And that is really cool. So I am really liking how these turned out. They're nice and grungy. So if you have any parchment paper that you have underneath that you coffee dye with, or you know, eco dye or do anything like that, if you come watch my videos, just put parchment paper down. And then you could keep reusing and reusing, because why not? I like to recycle. I think we all like to recycle. So, okay, there we go. I think these are really cool. I'm liking these sides better. Yeah, so let me know in the comments. I would love to know what you guys think of these. They're going to be so much fun to play with here. Okay, and then we got the... Oh, and I forgot to show you guys. Hold on just a second. Here, I'll show you. I'll compare. So this is the one we just did, and then this is the original material. So you could see super flimsy. I mean, it's material. And then it went to just stiffness. So it's like, it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. It's like we mega Scotch guarded it. But it's really neat feeling. You guys got to feel how soft and then the rough side. So it is kind of cool, the textures. And then that's the original. Okay. And now let's go ahead and do the cheesecloth. All right. Yeah, let's do it like that. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do this one together. And let's see. I'm just going to get my finger right here just to start it. So I think it did help to smush the edges in. It kind of gives you something to grab onto when you're peeling it. So I would suggest to do that. Okay. Oh, and I think it's going to pick up the print underneath. That is so cool. Yeah, look at that. It picks up the acrylic paint that's on here. It didn't really, oh, a little pink and stuff. That's the, I think that's I want to say watercolor. I think it's my watercolors. Yeah, and it picked that up a little bit on it. So that's the front, which is rough. And then you got the smooth. So yeah, I want to almost try, like if you did one here like this and then just smashed it over like that and then sandwiched it, it would both, I bet you it would both be smooth, like on each side. But either way, I like the texture too. So you get different kinds of textures. So that is fun. Okay, here, I'll compare it. I'll show you guys this one real quick. So that's the original cheesecloth. So you just got the flimsy, regular cheesecloth, and then you got this one, which is just, it's just so much fun. You could do so many different things with this. Yeah. So I hope you guys comment below, because I would love to do more and see what else we can do on this. All right, I'm going to do this on a time lapse and rip it off real quick. So I'm loving it. And it did pick up. It picked up some color. You could see some color in it from the watercolors underneath. Yeah, I'm liking it. So I love this grungy. I really do like the texture on the top too. So that gives it kind of a cool, so you get both sides here. So yes, 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 yes. Put that to the side. And then now, this one was on wax paper because I wanted to try it on just the wax paper. And this is more like a cereal bag kind of, you know, material, or whatever you want to call it. More like a plasticky, like that. And this is the netting. Where did I put the netting? Okay, let me go find that real quick. Okay, so I found the original netting that we used. And we will compare it here. Okay, so now I didn't squish the sides on this, but I'm just taking my nail and just going like that. But I think, you know, you could take something maybe and get up underneath it too. I don't know how this is gonna work. It might rip it a little bit. So I'm just taking my nails and kind of, this might have been too thin, but if I get a good start here, I should be able to kind of rip it. Remember, I was experimenting with you guys. So let's see. Oh, I think I'm getting a good one right here. If you want to get just a good start at it. It's kind of cool what it did to the wax paper. I don't know, this might not have worked, but you know what? At least we tried, right? Wow. Well, it didn't really do much to the netting, but it really did something cool to the wax paper. See, this is the original here. It's just a spool of it. And it just kind of left some glue chunks on there, just like that. So that's just the regular without the coffee. So maybe the coffee one just did a coffee dye on it. I'm really liking. I think I'm going to use this in a project too. I'll keep this so we could do something fun with it. But you can see it's like a rough imprint of the netting part. You can see that. So that's kind of cool. Okay, and I'm going to do this real quick and I'll get that one off of there. So this is why I do this for you guys, so you don't have to do it. And this is the way if I had patience, I could have sat and maybe ripped it off evenly, but you could get this same effect. I mean, maybe not the little glue marks or nothing, but you could get the same effect of the dyeing, just putting it in coffee with less pain in the butt. So yeah, I would say this one, I don't know if I would do the netting. Unless you had thicker netting, that might work out. But some of it's still on here. But I really do like the effect it did on the wax paper here. So, I mean, these can make fun little bags and little cute little things with the texture on it. So I like that part. So it's up to you. But this, if you want just the netting dyed, I would just stick it in coffee or tea. So, well, we got to try, right? We're going to try. So that's what it looks like. Okay. I'll put it to the side. You never know. And then the last thing here we did is the napkins. And I hope these turn out really good. So these are more the rice paper kind of feel and stuff to it. I just threw in fabrics in there because I love fabrics and, you know, all things fabrics and sewing and all that stuff. So it's like, why not try it, you know? And you could incorporate that into your junk journaling. Okay, so let's turn that. Let's start with this one again. I like doing the clear first. Don't rip it. Okay. So I'm not sure if this would have worked better maybe on the wax paper, but that is why we're trying it, right? because I know Natasha on the treasure books, she did it on cereal bags, which is just like kind of the wax paper feel to it. It's just same as this, which I should have probably done the napkins on here. It's just my wax paper isn't that big. It's not as wide as my parchment. So I figured I'd just do it on here, but it might rip. So let me work at this and try to get some of this off, or all this off would be nice, but, and then we'll see how it turned out. Okay, so I just want to show you guys here. So for some reason, this one is ripping and it won't come off as easy. And the coffee one is coming off and working great. Not sure why. Not sure why. I really couldn't tell you why. But this one is just wanting to come right off. So I wanted to show you guys that. I mean, it wants to stick. I definitely will call this video do's and don'ts of making faux rice paper, because I would not, and this is why we do this together, is experiment, is I would not put it on parchment paper again. I would definitely put it on like a waxy wax paper or a cereal bag, or just even just a plastic like clothes bag, you know, that you can get that are thicker and more sleek, because it will peel off a lot easier than on the parchment, because the parchment kind of wants to stick it to it. And I don't know why the coffee one is working a little bit better, but I'm just taking my nail and just kind of getting it when it does stick. And I don't know why, but this one is. So if you guys still want to see me make stuff out of this one, out of these that we did today, I'm going to go ahead and do these again. I'm going to replica them and do them on wax paper. So we'll have these to play with that won't be ripped up. But I'm going to still keep this and use it as collage, because this is going to be great for collage, because look, it's picking up all the watercolors that I had in the background of this parchment paper. So I think that's really cool. And this one is pretty much intact except for the little rip right here. And yeah, so I mean, it wants to come right off. So I'm not sure. And if I would have just took my time, I probably wouldn't have ripped it right there. But for some reason, this one turned out pretty good. So it could have been because I just eyeball my solutions when you know, the coffee glue, water, and coffee and stuff like that. And then just the glue and water. So I don't know. Maybe I think I had this one runnier. The coffee one was a little bit runnier. So maybe that was it. But yeah, I mean, if you guys know, definitely let me know in the comments if you guys have a suggestion of why. Because this one, maybe I didn't have enough glue. That could be an option too. I mean, maybe I didn't have enough glue down, so it was kind of dry and it just stuck more, where I did a lot more on this one. That could be it. That could be it. So, I mean, if you guys want to, you know, try it on parchment and see, and maybe that was it. Because this one was a little bit runnier and I might have put more down. So it came right off easier. But it is cool. I mean, it really does feel really nice. And it's fun. And I mean, I don't want to do it too much because that rip. But it is way more durable than just a napkin here. So this is just the regular. I've used this one, but you can see right here. I mean, it's way more durable, like especially one ply. I mean, you can see the difference here. So it's kind of cool. It's a little more stiffer. And so yeah, I mean, definitely do this. My suggestion is to do this on wax paper or a cereal bag, and it'll peel off easier for you. But do the edges like that, because I think that's what saved me to even get this off of here today. So, and I had to just use my nail and just kind of get it and pop it up. But yeah. So, I mean, this could be the video of do's and don'ts, and then you guys just follow and see what I did so you don't make the same mistake. And that's why I'm here, is so you guys don't make the same mistakes I did. So, I would say on this one, fail for sure on where I think I just didn't put enough glue solution underneath. That's probably what I did. And So fail-ish, and then the netting here, fail, I would say. Except for you can use the coffee one. And this one. I mean, you can use them for sure. So those were fails. The cheesecloth, loved it. I think winner. Winner, winner. And the... this was the blouse that I got from Goodwill. And so let's say I think it was polyester. I'm pretty sure. And definitely winner. I really liked the way the material turned out. And then we got the last one here, which is the tea bag. Like the tea, the tea bag thing. The tea towel, that's what it is, not tea bag. Tea towel fabric. So this was just the edging of it, and so that's nice and stiff to do something cool with. And a lot of this would be really neat to do slow stitch and stuff too, but that, you guys can comment down below and let me know what you think. And I will try to revise this and do better ones of these, and then we'll have something to show better that we can play with. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. And I hope you found this very informational, and don't make the mistakes I did, and I hope I helped you today. So please, if you could, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, and you guys can see my next video when I post it. Like, comment, and share, and let's grow together. And keep on crafting.